Well, yeah, welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast. I'm Drew, and I'm joined this week with my friend Gina. And we're going to talk about Mura Masa, which somehow I don't have experience on, even though he's in my wheelhouse. But before that, what kind of media have you been enjoying recently? Anything new?
Oh gosh, okay. Do books count?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Are books considered media?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're talking like on technology or something. Yeah, I've been reading more, which is interesting because I'm not a reader. Actually, earlier this year, I had a conversation with my best friend Anna. We were talking, and she's a huge reader, and I just admitted to her, I was like, I've always wanted to be someone that is really well read, reads books all the time, but I just hate reading. I really do. I don't have the patience for it. Like, I don't have the attention span to just sit and read.
Same.
But I really like literature and like themes, or picking out the themes, seeing symbolism, and picking out things like that. So I'm trying to train myself to get back into reading. So yeah, I got back into it a couple months ago because I read Gone Girl. I don't know if you've read the book or seen the movie, but
I've heard of it. Yeah.
That's not literature. I guess it's kind of more like, or it's not classic literature, but that is more of like a recent, I guess, psychological thriller book. But the past week I've been reading a book by Fitzgerald. I don't know if you ever read The Great Gatsby, but that's same author.
I've wanted to see that movie at least, but
oh, it's so good. I mean, so many people hate it. I think mostly because like the book is so good that the movie just didn't live up to, I guess, the beauty of the book. But I still love it. I think it's incredible. The soundtrack is good. Amazing.
There's some electronic. I found it because like Nero did a song on it or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know all the songs on it. I know like maybe like a solid 4 or 5 that I was obsessed with.
Yeah, no, I knew a few from that soundtrack. That's every time I read, I literally just have all my like to-do list, and my my brain just starts to like be so active when I'm like trying to pay attention and focus.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything you stopped thinking about when you start reading, it all just like you can't stop thinking about everything else. Yeah.
And then I just reread like the same paragraph, and it's like it's not fun.
I feel that, yeah, but it really is like I've definitely got better like with practice, so I feel like a child. Like I'm gonna start over with like learning how to read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something else I watched with my dad. We were playing chess, and we threw on this like mini documentary of like the Rubik's Cube World Championship.
It's so random.
Yeah, and it was these like 2 boys. One of them was like autistic, and he was like the best. And then his like best friend he met, who actually lives in, I don't know if it's in Melbourne or like the final they focused in was in Australia. And he was like the best friend to him, and like understood that he like wasn't like as emotionally there, and like he was never like he was a rival, but he was like a best friend. It was just a cute little documentary.
Interesting. What's it called? I've never seen any like thing about, or like a documentary about it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's gonna like tweet about Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
And they have like 10-sided, like they have like a one-handed competition too. It's crazy.
Okay,
I'm sure if you just
I don't even know how to do it. Like I know there's like a
me neither.
Like a pattern or an algorithm or whatever that you follow, but I have no idea.
Oh yeah. The speed cubers. They're called cubers. So like, hey, you want a cube?
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, what about music? I feel like you and I have always like bonded over talking about music. What music have you been liking?
I've been kind of just going back to older stuff. This year has been hit or miss, I think, because like I was talking to my sisters about this, where like Taylor Swift put out her album, and I asked if it was like related to like lockdown and stuff, because like it's a good time for people to make music, but it's not a time to make like concert, stadium, club music. Like it's a particular time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw, speaking of concerts, I don't know if you saw, but I think it was in London, maybe? I don't know, but they had their first like social distancing concert. Have you seen anything about that?
I think I did. They had like a bar around like every single group. like a little rail.
Yeah, yeah, like a railing, and it was like a
Yeah.
certain, yeah, like with the part. I felt so split about that because, part of the concert
Mm-hmm.
experience is all, like being really close to people, like pushing into each other.
Oh
But then
yeah.
at the same time, I was like, that looks amazing. Like, part of me also hates that, like having sweaty
Yeah.
bodies all over me.
Well, it's like it's the grand experiment because like I mean New Zealand for instance has had normal full capacity concerts recently,
I
which is
didn't know that.
awesome
Yeah.
because they're just like free. And then like there've been clubs in America, even in like Minneapolis, that are like at 10%. So it's like if it's 1,000 person club, they'll have 100 people in there.
Wow.
And then like near me and a lot of places are doing drive-in concerts, which are like hit or miss with precautions. But I don't know if I would like that either.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just definitely like, oh, such a different world.
Yeah, because I went to Philly for the first time and like I just remembered like parking and all the different places I'd been and it was sad, but I don't know, it's been nostalgic like and I'm just scared for all the concerts that are going to happen because I had like
Yeah.
two tickets that got canceled this year and I'm sure like hundreds of like it's going to be the busiest year next year for tours.
I know that I'm ready for concerts. Like I missed
Yeah.
3 concerts that I was planning to go to this year. I'm so bummed about all of them, but I mean,
I
obviously it's
know.
for the better. But yeah, that's like I'm ready to go. Like when we're able to go back to
Hmm.
concerts, like I'm there.
Yeah, have you been listening to any like new music though since we've talked?
mm, Not necessarily new music. Oh, actually, I don't know if you listened to Glass Animals, but they released a new album about a week ago, maybe a week or two ago. But I've been
Yeah, my friend
loving.
told me about
Oh,
it.
it's so good. Just lyrically, it's amazing. Conceptually, it's amazing. I think they're like,
Hmm.
I forget the main guy's name. Whoever writes their lyrics, like the storytelling is just incredible. Like just so good.
Mm.
The only thing I'm like bummed about is they definitely are. I mean, they've just gotten bigger over the past couple of years, so they're definitely leaning
Hmm.
more towards like a little bit more of the pop side. But the appeal,
Yeah.
at least for me, that I really loved from them is just they're so unique and just really quirky sounds. Um, but
Yeah.
I mean, their sound is still there, so. But yeah, their new album is so good, just incredible. Them and I don't know, I've really been loving Fleetwood Mac lately. I don't know why. I mean, they're an older band. Um
Hmm.
I think it's like that band to me, like they remind me of my dad a lot because my dad and I listened to them together. Um, he kept all his records from like back when he was younger, and then
Yeah.
he bought a record player to play his old records back in high school. And one of the first ones we listened to was Fleetwood Mac. And so I think for me, like I really miss my dad. So I mean, for people listening, I mean, yeah, I'm away from home for the year. And so yeah, abroad in Australia. And so I really miss my family. And I think Fleetwood Mac
Mm.
just reminds me of my dad so much. So I've just been listening to them. Cause yeah, I don't know, it's
That's
like
cool.
nostalgic for me. And it's also just, yeah,
Yeah.
it just feel good.
Music's so
Yeah.
powerful in that
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Like that music can remind you of someone really strongly or like
Hmm.
a memory. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
love
like
to do.
that's how I've seen it too with this year, even though it's not been concerts, but listening to that, it really does bring me back into those whenever I was listening to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Mm.
Well, yes, kind of similar to those. So this week we kind of wanted to look back at Mura Masa and I guess his second EP, which is Someday
Yes.
Somewhere. I always like get that name kind of weird.
The Someday Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely switched it before, like somewhere, someday, somehow, some way.
And I remember it's so funny because I don't know if you actually got me into Muramasa, but I remember we definitely talked about it like around this time or when this EP came out, and this was like in college, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was exciting because I knew you were into music, and
Hmm.
I know. So yeah, you are like so well versed in like electronic music, and that's just not my area of music
Right.
interest, I guess. So I think it was cool when we talked about Miramasa at first because it was like, oh, like a common link. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, later we found we had more common links, but yeah.
Yeah. It's hilarious because like I remember we talked about Flume too.
I think I was into Flume first, actually. because
Yeah.
I mean I wasn't into Flume before that one song that got really popular. I'm blanking on what it's called.
Never Be Like You, I
Yes,
guess,
yes, yes.
or
Never Be Like You. Yeah.
yeah.
That was the song that got me hooked on Flume. I mean, that album, I guess, because then I listened to that whole album. It's so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, I think I got
Yeah.
into Flume first. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because they both have like, well, I guess Flume won a Grammy and he got nominated for a Grammy, Mura Masa. And people compare them all the time too. And I would say they're definitely in the same like pop electronic kind of crossover area.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's confusing
But
because since, like I said, like I'm not like electronic music is not like my area of expertise. Like I feel like there's so many
yeah.
different types, like subgenres within it, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to tell between like the different ones.
It's no, it sucks too because like yeah, around this time and I guess kind of still, but I DJ'd a lot, especially in college, and like I would always kind of look at songs and music at that time period as like how I can work it into like playing it here at a party or on the radio show or like at a public event or whatever. So like with Muramasa, I only knew like Lovesick and Firefly and
Mm-hmm.
like Lotus Eater and like I only knew the bangers.
Yeah, the
Um,
bangers, yes.
so and even listening to this like because I didn't know this EP for this podcast like I was looking at each one and I would just pick it apart and it's almost annoying that I like have that lens so I envy you in some ways.
No, I mean I'm excited though to hear your perspective because I think you probably could speak to some things on the more technical musicality side of it. But for me, it's
Hmm.
like when I first heard or listened to the EP, it's like, and I think that was the appeal for me for Mura Masa was like, other electronic music. Excuse me. I don't know. I think it was difficult for me at first, at least, to understand like, oh, this is just background music, right? Like, I don't know,
Hmm.
how people can just enjoy this, like, aside from it being background music, because it's just, there's not a lot of words. It's just kind of repetitive music. But
Hmm.
when I heard Mira Masa, it was more of like an emotional, like, I mean, as cheesy as it is, like, it felt
Yeah.
more like emotional and I felt like it told a story more. And I think that's where it,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, he definitely got me hooked more into like that, like looking for more like
Yeah.
emotion evoking electronic music, I guess. But yes, I'm excited to hear
Oh
what you have
yeah,
to
for
say
sure.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and did you listen to the podcast he was like interviewed at?
Hmm. Yeah, I did listen
It
to
was
it.
pretty crazy. Like, I guess he's from Guernsey. I don't know how you
Yeah,
say that.
yeah. I honestly have never even heard of that place until you
Yeah, me
mentioned
neither.
it.
He's so cultured. Like all of his artists, I was looking up, and a lot of his singers are like from UK or from these cool
Yeah.
places.
And like it makes so much sense now. I was really glad you sent that podcast to me because I've only
Hmm.
listened to a couple interviews or videos about him before that, but
Yeah,
it makes so much sense that his music is so emotional, I guess, and it just felt like such a sense of depth to it. I guess since he said that
yeah,
what he studied English literature and philosophy, I think it was,
hmm,
and just the way he's so
yeah,
well spoken. Like you could just tell that he's like a thinker, like he really thinks about things
yeah,
and just has this like deep perspective on life, and I feel like it really translates through his music. But yeah, I thought that was.
yeah.
I'm really glad, yeah, that I listened to that.
And he's basically our age too. He was born in '96,
Yes,
which is pretty crazy.
which is insane. Like he
Yeah.
is so young, and I think yeah, it's cool
Can you
to.
imagine like winning or nominating for a Grammy like when you're like
I
21?
know. Oh my gosh, I'm like yeah, looking
Oh my
back like when I was
gosh.
21. I mean, that's only like 2 years ago, but like man, what was I doing
Yeah.
at age 21? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, the coolest thing for me is like how artistic he is. Like I think he does his artwork and he did a lot of like the physical art for like the vinyl and his merch.
Yeah.
I mean, he started his record label. Obviously with the music, he does it all like himself and
Mm,
he sings in a lot of these too.
mm,
I just think he has like a strong vision
yeah.
and something crazy too. Because I remember hearing a few singles from his album he put out this year, Raw Youth
Mhm.
Collage, and I checked it out finally, and it's like so. What's the right word? it's like rough to the ear and it's like artistic and like a left. He said in the podcast it's like going to be something out of left field, and it
Mm.
really is.
Yeah. No, it's true. And it's very, and that's the thing too, right? Where like, I think, like I said before, other like electronic music, it's been easy for me to like, I'll listen to like a minute of it and then I'll be like, okay, that was good, but like next. But I think
Hmm.
for his music, yeah, it just really draws you in. Like you are stuck there and like wanting to hear
Hmm.
like the whole ups and downs of it and artistic, yes, super creative. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was totally nerding out because since I'm like, I really love like branding and packaging and all the
Hmm.
like little stuff to like make the product. And when he was talking in the podcast about like like I spent forever picking out the cardboard of like the vinyl
Yeah.
case and I'm like, oh, I'm like wish I could have been there with you, I would have loved
Yeah.
that. uh,
Yeah, I love that's okay. So, and this is something I would love your opinion on, I guess. And this might be a bigger topic, but and I do like bands, and I grew up on bands, and I like I've been listening to Kanye recently, and like I don't really know his music well. And if you look at like a lot of those pop artists, they have a whole team behind them, like engineers and singers and writers. And for bands, you obviously have like a bigger group and a lot of democracy. And I guess part of what draws me to like singer songwriters and like electronic producers is that like they do have total control and like it is more intimate. And it kind of depends. Like it can be good and bad because like you could lose your voice and have a bunch of singers and features and just try and play the club, but also you can be kind of more control like he does. So.
mm. Yeah, that's interesting. I've actually never thought about that. um, yeah, I guess like, so do you mean between like having a bunch of people rather than like the one?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've never thought about that really, because I guess I've always thought of it as like, actually, to honestly for me, like I actually hadn't as much as someone who loves music and loves art, like I never really thought
Hmm.
too much about like things like like album artwork or whatever, or other elements
Yeah.
besides the music. So I feel like I'm only just learning about like, oh, some like it's not just the band members doing everything, or like, oh, it is this band person, like, or I guess for Mira Masa's case where it's like just that person is making all this stuff. But yeah, that's an interesting
Hmm.
thought. I don't know. I've never thought about the difference between like, like a band like having multiple people to have say in things versus the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because like with him, I think he mentioned that he used to be in a lot of punk and pop and like hardcore bands before he started this project,
Mm.
and then like his recent album is pretty much like punk indie electronic music. Like it's such a weird hybrid, and I think it's really cool, honestly, that he can like mix that. A lot of like
Yeah.
Skrillex was lead singer, and you can really see punk, even just the ethos of like the DIY and stripped down elements, really working its way
Mm.
into a lot of modern music.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Like, I think because he was saying, he started out on SoundCloud, and I guess when he first
Hmm.
started, that's when SoundCloud was a lot, or I shouldn't say a lot bigger, because I think it's still big now, just in a different way. But it was kind of
Hmm.
like gaining traction at that time, when he was first releasing music, and it's interesting. I feel like there's like okay, I don't know a ton of like, I'm not on SoundCloud. I mean, I've listened to stuff on SoundCloud, but I'm not one of those people who I guess like the underground like know all the like not
Yeah.
popular stuff
No,
on.
it used to be it used to be a way to discover music, and now it's just like
Yeah,
another streaming platform,
yeah,
really.
yeah. And so it's interesting, like hearing how his sound has developed, like from his original stuff and that kind of the DIY kind of like it's very um, humble, but still really good and like really
Yeah.
layered. And it's crazy to hear his stuff now, where like you said, there's so many different like genres that he's pulling into his style, I guess. But yeah, I just
Hmm.
find it really interesting his like evolution too of like to where he is now.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that podcast because like for me it's like totally like I can like it's almost like I'm in there with them just seeing learning those intimate things that you would never like know before.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
it's
enjoyed
fun to
that
geek
one.
out on.
Yeah.
I guess we can get into like each song
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm curious about how you think because it'll be a cool perspective because I only know two of the singles and the rest are new to me
Mm.
even though it's like 5 years old.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It was definitely cool listening to it again because it is like a nostalgic thing for me because I was, yeah, into him a few years ago, I guess when it first came out. But it was, yeah,
mhm.
just interesting listening to it again. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you see him like around this time, right?
Like in concert?
Yeah.
No. Okay. I know, yeah, we could start, but like just really quick. It's actually funny. There have been multiple times where I had the chance to see him. Like I wanted to see him live so bad. There were 3 times actually that I can think of. And like I have a friend who like he and I really bonded over Mura Masa too, and we kept trying to go to his concert like over and over
hmm
again. There was even one time I like bought a ticket, like I was ready to go, but then every time like something came up. But my friend, he's gone to these concerts without me, even if I hadn't been able to go. And one of these
Yeah.
concerts, it was actually at I think it was at the 930 Club in DC,
Yeah.
but he I guess looked so happy while like he was going, and one of the singers was up there too. I think it was Bonsai. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's who it was, but I'm not 100%
hmm
sure. But
He definitely toured, yeah.
yeah, she saw him, like my friend, she saw him look so happy that she like went down and gave him the mic to sing along. um
Oh my
and so
gosh.
I've always like
That's
oh
great.
man, I've always been so upset that I wasn't there with him at that
Yeah.
concert. But no.
I literally could have sworn you went, and I even put on my 9:30 shirt because I was like, I'm pretty sure it was at
You
9:30.
know, I probably told you I was going to go because I was going to, and then I
Right. Had a vision.
couldn't. Yeah.
Because he's cool. He doesn't just like DJ too. So that's why I didn't know much about how he does it, but
Yeah.
it looked more
I
musical
wish,
live.
yeah. I wish I could have gone. But anyways,
But,
should we go through
but yeah, I guess the
yeah.
first song is "Are You There," and it's so funny to
Yes.
me that I guess it was more. It wasn't like hip back then using like the U
Mhm.
in two of the titles.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, instead of like YOU, it has like the
Oh, because
U.
it's just the U. Yeah. Yeah. I never thought much about it. But yeah, I guess it was kind of,
Yeah.
ooh, like shortened. Just the U.
But what do you think of this first one?
Yeah,
Are you there?
actually, I was trying to remember. I actually looked through my old Spotify playlist, like back in 2015, to try to remember which song, because I know for sure the first song I heard from Mura Masa was either "Are You There," "Firefly," or "Love for That." "Love for That," which is not on this EP.
hmm
So "Are You There" might have been the first song I ever heard. I'm pretty sure it was actually "Firefly," but it could have been "Are You There." But I love this one. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this one. The reason why, again, like I said, and I think for most people, the appeal of electronic music is the drop.
hmm
And the thing I love about Mira Masa is like the drop is not super intense, which I feel like is the same.
hmm
Like you could say that for "Are You There." Um,
Yeah.
it just is kind of like, it's gonna sound weird, but like I feel it in my gut. Like I feel like, when you're going down like a roller
hmm
coaster and you like get that gut feeling of like, ooh, yeah, like this is good. um, Weird way to describe it, but that's like kind of how I
Yeah.
feel with his drops, where it's like, oh yeah, like this is good. So like that's how I
Yeah.
feel for the yeah. Are You There? Um, Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if this EP was supposed to be conceptual, but or if it was just kind of
Right.
like, just some of his songs put together. But I thought it was an interesting one to be like the
hmm
first one on the EP. But
Yeah, I was questioning that too,
mhm,
and I feel like it almost has to have some kind of intentionality, like since you
yeah,
did do the artwork and like there is an intermission.
hmm
Um, Although I was looking at like his album and like Lovesick and Firefly are like reused on his album, so like
yeah,
And that can be fine too. Like that could still conceptually work in both.
Hmm.
But yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll save what I'm gonna say for when we actually get to those tracks. But
And this
yeah.
one, I was looking up the lyrics
Hmm.
for "Are You There?" and obviously the lyrics are pretty simple. It's just like, "I need to know," and it's like, "Here with me."
Hmm.
And the funniest thing was like, you know how wait, have you been to Genius before, like on the
Hmm.
website to look at
Yeah.
lyrics? So like it'll like underline and you'll click it and it'll have somebody that like comments the
Yeah.
meaning or like some kind of addition. The lyrics are I need to know that you're here with me. I need to know that you're here with me. It does that a few times. Okay, I got it wrong. And then the chorus is just here with me, here with me, here with me. And when you click on it, it says, "This is what he needs to know."
Wait, that's all it
Yeah, and nobody's upvoted it or
Yeah, I was
anything,
gonna
which
say
is
I
so
would give a
funny.
downvote for
Because
that.
like, who would look up the lyrics for this
Yeah.
one? Like, Lovesick is like popular and stuff in
Yeah.
Firefly, but
Right,
I
right.
just thought
No, and that's funny. No,
that was
and
some fun.
exactly like who there I don't think there yeah, you need to look up the lyrics for that, but that's interesting. I'm surprised they even have a page for that. Cuz
I
well,
know. Well, the cool thing is
yeah.
he does the singing in this one and Your Bones and When You Need Me. I'm almost 100. I'm like 80% sure,
Yeah, I I question the
which
same
is
thing
cool too.
too because yeah, for yeah, your bones. Yeah, we could talk more about when we get there, but because yeah, there wasn't any
Yeah.
feature, and he did say he did some singing on the
Right.
podcast. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I read an article about how he records his vocals. So
Mm-hmm.
he has like a vocal effect, and you can hear in like the outro song, for instance, which is, or even in this song, he has like the like the chipmunk kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's higher pitched.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's so good. I love the part with the like when it repeats me over again. It's just this like you just kind of
yeah,
vibe with it, like me. You know
yeah.
what I
It's
mean?
vibey.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so good. Oh yeah,
Yeah, this one's good,
yeah,
and it's short too.
yeah.
Like yeah,
I really.
and this is
Oh.
the only yeah. I know. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know what sound it is, but like
Hmm.
it almost reminds me of like outer spacey almost, like kind of like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like the
Oh, is it the like bum 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 bum?
yes, exactly, the dun da da da.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what
yeah. It
that
is kind of
sound is, but
spacey.
I love it because it gives it some kind of like yeah, just outer space vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I love that. What were you
And
gonna
then
say?
it
Yeah,
leads into Firefly, which is probably one of the biggest singles
yeah,
on this one.
yeah. Firefly, I love Firefly because again, I think okay, again, it's a mystery what song I discovered first. But Firefly and Love for That, both of those I loved initially because, and also why I did get into his music is because around that time, like kind of end of 2015, early 2016, like I was really into that kind of vibey music with
Hmm.
just really good beats and like layered beats.
Yeah.
Because I really got into watching
Hmm.
dance videos, like hip hop kind of, dance
Pre
videos.
TikTok.
Pre TikTok days, like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm on TikTok. Like I love the dances, but these are like professionally. Okay, no, some of those dancers are professional, but yeah, but just these like
Yeah.
dance videos, like really hype, like people in the background, like hyping the dancers up, and they had, a lot of
Hmm.
these dancers had that kind of vibey music in the background, or not in the background, but
Hmm.
as for the music, and I came across this was already like I already was into Mura Masa, but I came across I'm not a big music video person, but I watched Mura Masa's music
Oh,
video for
same.
Love for That, and again that song's not on the EP, but the dance video for it is so beautiful. It's so good, and then so that kind of just like
Hmm.
I just started searching a bunch of dance videos to Mura Masa's songs, and Firefly I think is definitely one of the best ones for like dancing. Just cuz yeah, like the
Hmm.
I don't know, it is like it's not too layered. I feel like it's not there's not too many extra beats going on. Because I feel like with dancing, it's like you do
Mm-hmm.
need to like follow. Some people would follow. I'm not a dance expert, but just from the dance videos I've seen, like their moves will align with the main sound. But my favorite ones are like when the
Mm-hmm.
dance moves align with like almost like a secondary beat going on. And I just Mura Masa's music is
Mm-hmm.
perfect for that because yeah, just the layered beats. I feel like I don't know, it's so good. So that's what I personally love about
Yeah.
Firefly. Like, and I also love the oh god, I'm pretty sure it's a steel drum. Maybe it's a like a marimba. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you
It's
saying?
tropical. It's very tropical. Like
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I definitely associate this with summer.
Yeah, it is a very summery song. Yeah.
And the singer's awesome too. Like I was trying to like, have I heard her in other stuff? And she's in his newer song "Complicated,"
Yes.
which I that's kind of not how I got into him, but like I love that song. It's like came out in 2018,
Yes.
and like Skrillex wrote that song with her,
Mm.
and then they didn't like it didn't fit on Skrillex, or and so he just ended up doing stuff with it, and that's how I found it. Because obviously, like if Skrillex is in the news, if he's attached to any musician, I'll like get into that musician.
You're just automatically like, oh, they're in with Skrillex. I like them.
But I love like I love all these like British singers. Like it's like Aluna George, isn't it? Like anything that
Mm-hmm.
anybody's Flume's worked with, like Australian singers too, which a lot of them sound kind of British.
Mm.
Um, yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Her name is Neo, the singer on Firefly.
Hmm.
You should listen to her other stuff, like her solo stuff. Like she
Yeah.
is so good, and I love that he did pick her. Oh, sorry. um, I love that he did pick her voice, or I just used her in general
Hmm.
for like with his music because she does have this like, um, just like a really sweet sounding song or yeah like
Yeah.
voice, and I think it fits really well with yeah those kind of summery vibes. This kind of just like happy, just yeah, just like the upbeat kind of
Yeah.
positive vibes. But yeah, she's good. I'm really yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm really curious if it is conceptual and there is like a story,
Yeah.
whether it's his experience that she's singing about, or if it's just like the love interest of him,
mm,
singing about it. That's one thing I'm like I always think too deeply, I guess. Like it doesn't have to be that complicated, but
I'm the same way. You and I are that way. Like where we're like, what
yeah.
is the meaning of this? And sometimes like, okay.
Cuz this one has the most lyrics.
Yeah.
Like they're so complicated
Mm.
too.
Wait, in Firefly?
Oh yeah, like the verses and stuff. I'm like, "Oh man, what
Yeah.
does this stuff mean?"
I don't know. That's how I felt. Yeah, well,
But
we'll get to the other one. Yeah.
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 The next one is probably my favorite, honestly. And
Interesting.
I had never heard
Okay.
this one before,
Yeah.
but it's been in my head like constantly. And like before I'd called you, like the second drop that like has the quick beat, I was just like bopping my head and my like it's just such a bopper.
That's interesting because Terrible Love is actually not my favorite. It might be my least favorite
Hmm.
actually.
No, I mean that makes sense because it is. I think I like it, and I probably would have disliked it more at the
Mm,
time. But now, since like he's on this wave in 2015,
mm,
and nowadays it's kind of like everybody's doing it. Not in 2020, for
yeah.
instance, but it stood out more because it was more unique. This song
Yeah.
at least.
Well, so I forgot about this song. So that goes to show how much I
Hmm.
liked it. Like back, when back in 2015 when I did hear this, like, yeah, I don't know. I think it felt too like because like we've talked about this, but the appeal of Mura Masa is the vibiness of it, and I think this one
Hmm.
felt less vibey, but more like there was this urgency to it that I didn't like. Because the beat is
Hmm.
faster, like da 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 da, and it's like the background. It's like
Yeah.
this fast beat, and well, it's not that fast, but it's faster than I feel like the other ones, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's not a bad song. It's really not. And I actually really love the I don't know who the singer is. Danae Moore. I don't know. I've never heard her other stuff, but
Yeah.
I actually, when I first heard this song, I thought it was Florence and the Machine, um,
Hmm.
because the voice is just similar, and
I could see that.
they do have that same kind of like
Yeah.
dramatic, echoey sound to their voices.
Hmm.
So that is the redeeming quality for me of the song. Is the singer's voice is just beautiful, and it's very dramatic. So that is something that
Hmm.
I think, again, if it is a conceptual thing, I don't know, but I think the song as a concept itself is really good because it is this kind of like dramatic build
Yeah.
up. Just drama is the best word I feel like to describe, yeah,
Yeah.
the song.
It's hilarious that because to me it's very moody and sad and like relaxed compared to like
Interesting.
other stuff I listen to.
Okay.
But it's also like really funny that you think it's like fast because I heard some like drum and bass inspiration, which is like one of the oldest electronic genres that is actually has a huge scene in like Australia
Mm.
and or no, New
Mm-hmm.
Zealand and UK, and in the States it's really small. So it's super fast, like ultra fast,
Mm.
and it's been used in like a lot of like hip hop and like it's sampled a lot, but it's not like into the mainstream.
Oh, never
But
heard
he
of
uses it in like a slower, more moody
it.
way, and then the second drop is more Jersey Club, which is like heavily or Baltimore Club, like at New Jersey, Baltimore,
Yeah.
DC. It's like suit like that bum 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 bum
Yeah,
bum bum.
yeah.
It's yeah, and it's I love that genre, and it's cool that he's like kind of using it subtly with the drums,
Mm.
but
Yeah, that is interesting. That, yeah, I guess with other, because I don't know those genres, so maybe it is like a slower pace. But I think it's
yeah,
the urgency. It's the like the yeah.
yeah,
For some reason when I listen to it, I'm like,
huh.
oh, I gotta get somewhere. I gotta rush.
Well, and the terrible love, like it is kind of like a cry out,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we need to fix this love. There's something awful. I hate it. I love you. It's gonna destroy me. I need, fixing. Yeah, it
Right.
makes sense.
That's why, yeah, I do think conceptually the song works really well. Yeah. For yeah,
Hmm.
there's something wrong. Like we need to fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, two things. One sound in this one and one sound in Firefly I absolutely hate, and if they weren't there, the songs would like rise up a tear for me. And I'm curious if you noticed these little background
But yeah,
sounds,
what is it?
or if you know what I'm talking about. But in Firefly, there's these like bed squeaking sounds in the second half of the chorus that I just like really hate.
You know, I like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I
Really?
actually really like
Yeah.
it. Bed squeaking
No,
sounds.
it's no, it's because Cashmere Cat. It sounds so weird, but yeah, Cashmere Cat like popularized it or pioneered it,
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's been used in so much similar like music ever since. And I used it once when I made a song, so
Wait,
like I'm not immune to it.
I'm not gonna be able to get that out of my head now. Like I know what you're talking about, but I
Oh, I
never like
know.
equated it to like bed squeaking
No,
sound.
that's what it totally is sampling. It's like this. It's every musician uses the same exact sample. It's not like they, you know.
I'm trying.
And then
Yeah,
Terrible Love has this little like water drop, and I just that one I hate more because it's like I
yeah.
don't know, it just
Okay,
doesn't need to
I
be
actually
there.
don't like that. Yeah, I do agree with that. Just 'cause, I mean, I just think
Yeah,
that's cheesy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
So you would like it so much better if they didn't have those sounds.
Yeah, like because his music like is so clean. He mentioned he was meeting with Flume and he showed him how he made Lovesick, and it was like 14 tracks, which Porter Robinson, for instance, has made a song with like over 200
Oh my
tracks.
god.
So that's kind of like your decision,
Mm.
but basically every track is like an instrument or a sound effect or
Mm-hmm.
something, like a different element of the
Mm-hmm.
song. So he's very like raw, and Mura Masa is like a swordsman, like a samurai in Japan. It's like a name of, and he
Oh.
says it's because like he wants his music to cut like a knife, and that's how I think of his music. It's just so like clean and like it cuts like it's clean cut.
Clean, yeah. But it's also, yeah, that's why I love him, right? Because it is so clean, but it is
Yeah,
still like you can hear distinctly each sound, or I guess track that he has,
definitely.
yeah. But that's interesting, yeah. That you pick those specific ones out,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Speaking of very like you can hear like Your Bones is pretty much a cappella until there's a few instruments
Mm-hmm.
later, but that's the intermission song.
Oh, I love it. Like one of my
Hmm.
favorite things is, well, okay, in general, I just love when, you can just hear just voices. I love
Hmm.
acapella. Well, okay, I either hate or love acapella. So like, for example, I'm not a
Same.
fan of pentatonics, like that kind of acapella. They're super
Same.
talented,
I hate.
amazing,
Yeah.
but like that's just not for
Right. Right.
me.
I agree.
I don't like
100%.
listening to that. But acapella in the sense of like, okay, so for example, I've been really getting into well, you've been, as you mentioned, Kanye West, like his Sunday
Mm-hmm.
service choir, I think is what they're called. Like, I guess they've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
touring, well, pre-COVID, like to churches, I
Mm-hmm.
think. Maybe not just churches, but
Yeah.
on YouTube, yeah, I've just been
Stadiums
getting
and yeah.
into like their live performances and like just their voices
Mm-hmm.
and the harmonies. Oh, that like makes me melt. Um, so like for Your
Yeah.
Bones, I love, love, love this. I mean, it's not my
Yeah.
favorite, but I do love this track because it's like I love when songs when it is just a cappella and they're gonna add harmony. They kind of do it once at a time. Um, and so
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting too because not only does he harmonize, but it's like he adds different um, pitches. I think is the right term. Yeah.
Yeah. Either effects. I can't tell if it's like a duet or if it's just him.
I
Yeah.
think it's just him and just probably messing with the pitch, but I assume I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but
Yeah. No problem.
yeah, but
Yeah, and this one is cool. I thought it was like I'll hunger for your bones, but it's I'll hang off all your
yeah,
bones.
I did have a little bit of trouble understanding like because what does he say before that like if
It's like a poem. Yeah, I
yeah
really I'll hang off all your clothes
isn't
or
it like
I'll
if I
if I could be your clothes.
yeah
Yeah.
then I'd hang off all your bones. I was like what exactly
Which
does
so
that
it's
mean?
like I imagine the bones is like a clothing hanger,
mm,
like a clothes hanger,
mm-hmm.
and you're kind of I don't know, like either way, it's just kind of like I want to be close to you, like I want to be intimate and
Yeah,
like know the raw. Because I think of bones and like the raw you, like the
right.
deepest version of you, I
Right.
guess.
I kind of,
Below
yeah,
those.
I
Yeah.
interpret it, yeah, as a closeness, almost like a protection. Like if you, yeah, will
Hmm.
like strip yourself completely, not in the sense of
Oh my
clothes.
gosh, like the bird photo. He's protecting the bird. Oh my
The
gosh.
bird. Oh,
That's cool. Because the
oh,
hands are like,
true, yeah.
I
I didn't even
never.
think about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay,
Wow.
yeah, we're gonna have
Two
to
are
talk
stronger
about the
than one.
album art at some point because
Yeah.
it's so good. But
It goes into my theory, which I don't know if you'll agree with, but Low, this one is super like British, I guess grime kind of hip hop. What do you think
yes.
of this song?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I love this song honestly not because of Mura Masa. I love this
Yeah,
song
I
because of
agree.
Jay Prince. Like I love Jay Prince. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
listened to his other stuff, but like
I don't think so.
it's so good. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
speak into this too much because I know yeah, I guess he's in the grime genre and I don't know the grime genre well at all. Or
Yeah.
I don't know. I get nervous talking about it because I know that like the grime people who are really into grime are like very particular, very like
Yeah.
like if you're not from London, like who are you to listen to
Yeah,
grime? And I'm like I don't
get out of there.
know.
If you're from Canada,
Yeah. um, or I think it's London. I don't know. See,
oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
That genre
No,
just
it is.
yeah.
I was like, because Drake kind of used it, which is cool.
Yeah, which is also interesting because I listened to that song and it doesn't even really sound like grime, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Jay, why am I saying it like that? Jay Prince. Um, yeah, his stuff is so good. Like his lyrics are incredible. I was obsessed with
Yeah, I really like the lyrics.
yeah, I was obsessed with Father Father actually around the same time. So I think for me, like I was really
Mm-hmm.
excited to see them collab
That's
because
cool.
I also got into J Prince at the same time, and so um, I love this song. I still like the lyrics, and this is where like this is why I like J Prince is just like his lyrics are very deep. Like I feel like he's
Mm-hmm.
always or not always, but like the songs I do know from him, like he's just kind of questioning life and like
Yeah,
is there
definitely.
something beyond this or like I or that's how I
Yeah.
interpreted his lyrics. And so part of me
Oh,
is
same.
like,
Yeah.
is he a Christian? I don't know, because he's made some Christian references. But who knows,
Yeah.
right? But anyway, so Low I thought is really good, yeah, because the lyrics, yeah, I don't know, the whole, yeah, like I would never stoop that low, and him kind of, I like his
Mm-hmm.
confidence. Like I feel like in his other songs too, he's like, I'm the best kind of. I feel like a lot of rappers do that where they
Yeah.
kind of rap about like,
Bravado.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, I guess that's the thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
I love his voice.
Well, that's what this was. That's what to me I interpret it as like I would never be like other rappers. Like I don't need to like I come on. Let's like rap about talk about serious
Yeah,
things. That's
yeah.
how I kind of took this song. So that's
Exactly,
cool.
exactly, yeah. So I love that. I love working out to this song too, just because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know, that kind of, because he is like, oh, I would never stoop that low, like I'm this great, person, or not person, but like
Yeah.
musician. Um, I don't know, when I work out too, I'm like, yeah, like I'm the best. um, but there's a certain sound I love in this song. You probably might know more technically what it is, but and I like it because it matches with the low idea. Like I wouldn't stoop low, but like it just like it's a sound that drops, but it's not a drop. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's
Mm-hmm.
like do, like it goes really low. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I'm explaining this
Yeah.
very
I think that's
well.
just a. I think it's like a really slow sub bass, but
Maybe, yeah. But I love that drop because it just matches really well with the song talking about not stooping low.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you, I prefer his lyrics and his
Hmm.
performance. Like I think Mura Masa just like it's almost like he made a song for J Prince. Not that it
Yeah.
doesn't like not that it's not a good beat,
Hmm.
but I just feel like it doesn't fit as well if you compare it to the every other song on here is closer relateder than this one.
Hmm.
But not that this one's bad.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. That's a good way to put it. Like, it does seem kind of like a Jay Prince song and just like a good background.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it too. It like almost, it's like a haunting song too. Like the background voices. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's
it is.
him, but there's like a,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
and
So go ahead.
like conceptually you could also look at it like in a relationship, like questioning, would you really stoop that low? Like, don't like, and he's hurt,
Mhm.
like the pain kind of from what was going on
Yeah,
too.
that's right.
But
That's right.
maybe,
Yeah. I don't know. It's a scary song.
yeah.
A good scary
But
song.
it leads into the only, I guess the one I found out Muramasa from, which I'm sure like almost everybody with because of the ASAP
Yeah.
later on version.
Hmm.
But I kind of prefer. I don't know, like I do like the ASAP like version, but I kind of as a DJ, I don't know. I think the song is just nice though without him too.
No, and that's exactly what I was gonna say earlier when you mentioned that he, yeah, I guess released Lovesick with ASAP
Hmm.
Rocky on his other album. I I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's the ASAP one is still good, but I 100% prefer this one, like without
Hmm.
ASAP in it. And it sounded like in his podcast that he, like, as someone who is trying to release his music to more people, like he sounded like he did get
Yeah.
ASAP on board to kind of expand his audience. Um, which
Hmm.
is fine, like that's not a bad thing. But I am glad
Yeah.
that like a non, or just the like Beats version without ASAP in it is available, because yeah,
Hmm.
I think it's definitely one of, like, it's not one of my favorites for sure. But it is like a
Hmm.
strong song. Yeah, I do like this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the like intro too. Like just those drums are just I don't know the hip hop kind of style they are. I want to say bomb like I don't know. I just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, this
They're
one,
so
yeah, I feel
classic.
like this is also one of those good ones where like I think this one, yeah, I think it's this one. But like this one and Love for That, for some reason I've always switched the names just because like Love is in both of them and they
Hmm.
both were like one of his bigger
Yeah.
stuff. But this one also is a good one for like those dance type of videos because it has just like the good drum
Yeah.
beats and stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I can see that.
yeah,
And my favorite element, I don't know if you probably picked this up, but like at the second drop where the like bass guitar goes like bum 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 bum.
yeah.
That's like my favorite. It's just I love satisfying like it's like the music theory aspect that makes it satisfying, but
Mm.
I just love that.
Yeah, and I think it's good with like he has um what I do like about this is I think this one showcases the best like um the kind of like the mixture of the high pitch and the low pitch cuz you get the
Mm-hmm.
like the I it's like a flute. I don't know, like I know he's used Japanese flute before, so I don't know if that's what it is. But like that kind of like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's almost like it is on the higher end, like that. But
Yeah.
so he has that, and then he
Oh
has
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then he also has like the. It also sounds like keys on a keyboard. I don't know what it is, but it's that other high pitch that's
Yeah.
like do 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 do, and then um,
Mm-hmm.
but mixed with that kind of low, I guess, bass. I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
I mean a lot of them are. I don't think a lot of them are like actual instruments. Just from my ear, but
yeah,
the flute could be like the.
yeah, yeah. I have no idea, but I do like the kind of mix of the high and the low pitch of the yeah.
And I gotta like I've always seen this song as just like, and it's fine. It's the only explicit song, but I never even like realized why it was explicit. And I've seen two different lyrics, and it's just like a weird thing with like the chipmunk. I don't know if you know anything what I'm
Honestly,
talking
I
about,
don't know. Like I thought it was explicit because of the name, like the original name. Um,
that confused me too when I looked it up.
yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
I
Why did the name?
I was
Yeah,
and I tried finding too like why he changed it, but I couldn't find
me
anything on
too.
it. So I
I
don't
couldn't.
know. Like
Same.
I don't know.
Cause yeah, in the ASAP one, there's the singer that's like, "I'm a lovesick,"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but in this one, it doesn't have
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But then the lyrics are either "come over here" or "come f me." So I'm like, it hurts me. Not that it's like a big deal, but like literally, I could if I go into the song imagining one of those, I hear both.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I actually don't even.
Oh man.
I didn't like. I don't even notice the lyrics in this one, to be honest.
No, and I didn't. I don't usually like. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
it is funny.
And then the last song, I'm not really like. This is the only one I don't love, except I like the harp kind of intro, and I love the like. You can hear actually, I think a recorded guitar, or at least a real
Hmm,
guitar.
hmm.
So I like those elements, but I don't know. This song just kind of it's a little boring to me, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah. I think so. When I listened to it originally too, I it took a long time for this one to grow on me. Like I didn't really like that one that or this one that much either. But it's funny because listening to it this time around, I liked it so much more. Um,
mm-hmm.
I think it is the harp. Like I that harp just hooks me like immediately because it's just such
Yeah,
a
it's nice.
beautiful, delicate
It is.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
And like and this is where it makes me think of back to uh when we were talking about that kind of like galaxy sound, outer space sound. Like I like the harp
Yeah, it
intro to
is.
this one because it does. I don't know. It's like dreamy. Like it, and that's where some of his
Yeah,
music I kind of
definitely
get that
is.
too. Like it feels a little bit dreamy. But this one for sure. Like
Yeah,
yeah, and the lyrics for this one
yeah,
I like too. Which and I think it's a good
yeah,
closer too because it's like what it like it says like I'll be
definitely.
there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's they just repeat that right.
I think it's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I heard like I'll get there,
I'll get
but
there, I'll
either
be
way, yeah.
there. But
It's
yeah,
hard to hear
and
it
it's kind
either
of
way.
nice since it's called When You Need Me. So it's like, I'll be there when you need me. Um, like, I feel
Yeah,
like it's, the whole emotional journey of the EP of just like, there lots of like love, intimacy things tied to it, and also then it's like,
Yeah.
things are broken, we need to fix this, like,
Yeah.
you screwed up and things like that. And so like I feel like this is a good closer, as it's like it's dreamy, like it's kind of like a
Hope, I guess.
hope. Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of a happy,
Yeah.
not a happy ending. I don't interpret it that way, like, but more so
Mhm.
like when you like I don't know, the like when you really like someone and then you like move on, like they hold a special place in your heart, kind of thing. Like that's what this
Mhm.
song, it gives me those kinds of vibes of like, oh, like, I'll be there, like
Mhm.
you're always special to me, even if we've like gone through so much and it's
Yeah.
like we're moving on, but it's dreamy, it's hopeful. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I guess I don't want to like steal your thunder if you have the same theory as mine. So I guess I can just quickly go through, I guess, how I kind of see the songs
Yeah.
possibly telling a
Yeah.
story
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
of like first love. And like the bird, I guess, gives me that vibe too of just like something precious and like innocent and dear. But are you there? Like, I want you here with me. Kind of like asking somebody out. And then Firefly to me, the lyrics confuse me on the verse, but as far as the Firefly, like thinking of it, maybe like a one night stand, but that probably puts it a little too callously. But like, light up my night, and like it'll probably die because fireflies only last for like a certain season and for like the night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the terrible love, like the painful aspect and like something going wrong, and then still wanting to be there and like be with that person. And then I guess low is just like, I don't know if that one works in super well, but like I said, just how could you stoop that low, kind of like some anger. And then maybe even like the stages of grief, because then lovesick, you're kind of like, uh, you know, I guess sick from love or like just hurt. But then like when you need me, it's like I'm working on myself. Like I need to fix myself and work on some things, and like I'll be here.
Mm. Yeah, that's like basically what I thought. I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily, like take I didn't think of it as like first love, but yeah, more like young love is
Yeah.
what I thought of. Like kind of, yeah, the innocent, more, or a better word would be like naive
Hmm.
kind of love. Where yeah, it's just like so initially like you're, yeah, like very intertwined.
Hmm.
With like Are You There, Firefly, yeah, and then Terrible Love, Your Bones Low, like it kind of crashing,
Hmm.
and almost this like confusion. And that's where like Terrible Love, which is why I do like that, because it's that abrupt like
Yeah.
panic of like
Yeah.
what happened, like this person, we were together, and it's like this, yeah, just this panic of I'm losing them, what's happening. um
Yeah.
yeah, and then it kind of like reaching the low point. Yeah, it is interesting though that Your Bones is in between Terrible Love and Low.
Hmm.
Because yeah, I feel like Terrible Love and Low would go well, Low right after Terrible Love. But so that's interesting that Your Bones is intermission is in between
Hmm.
there. Like I wonder if that has anything to do with kind of like, okay, the panic, and then is Your Bones trying to say more like, oh, I'm okay, so panic and terrible love, am I losing this person, what's going on? And then Your Bones is like the desperate attempt to like, hey, like I'll protect you, I'll be there for you, like take me back. Or is it
Right.
more
Right.
like, yeah, or is it more kind of this like realization of, I really do like this person, I really do love this person. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
Like, because it's not
Yeah.
until you realize you have the panic that you are like, wow, why was I so freaked out? Oh, I must really love this person. Like,
Hmm.
I'll do anything for them. So I find that
Yeah.
interesting. But,
Definitely.
anyways, basically, what you said is what I thought, the same kind of like storyline
Yeah.
of, yeah. Young love, naive love.
Because, yeah, like almost, I can't think of any other EPs I was listening to that weren't just like a collection of songs I'm going to tour on this
Mm-hmm.
year for like electronic artists of his same style. So it
Mm.
impressed me as far as like somebody who didn't like listen to this until now. It definitely holds up because it intrigued me in
Yeah.
terms of just like the music, like it fit well for the season, and also just like the lyrics have something there to dig into too.
Yeah, it definitely holds up for me 100% too. I
Mm-hmm.
actually like I forgot about Mura Masa. So
Yeah.
I mean, he did release like his and that's the thing. He released Mura Masa and yeah, RIC like and they're both really good. They really are, but this EP like his older stuff is I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's I just like it so
More,
much
yeah.
better. It just yeah, it feels more raw and more emotional to me and so I kind of stopped listening to him once those albums came out. But yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad we talked because it reminded me
Yeah.
of this EP and definitely stands up. It's so good.
And of his first mixtape, if you don't know Lotus Eater, that is just such a banger. I've DJ'd with that like a while ago.
Yeah,
That song is so
it's
hard.
it's funny, yeah, because I feel like Lotus Eater. A lot of people, when they first listen to Miramasa, they will listen. They have or have had listened to Lotus Eater. Um, I didn't get into that one until like way later, actually.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know why. I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't listen to it that much, but that one's a good one though. Now
Yeah.
that I have listened to it, yeah,
Do you have time for one more question just to end it off?
yeah.
I had
Got plenty of
something I
time.
wanted to start doing was just to ask, as I start to get like more varied guests, like what's something you've learned or are learning that you just like find interesting in the last like month
Oh
or
gosh,
whenever?
I've been really obsessed with yeah, just like Vox videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen those, but
A
yeah,
few.
just Vox the YouTube or their YouTube channel. They just have a bunch of random um, videos on a lot of different things. But I've especially been loving they have like I think it's called Earworm is their segment specifically about
Mm.
music. And so I don't know. I've been really into. Okay, it's on brand, I guess, since we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about media. But yeah, I've been getting into just like learning about artists, whether it's like how they make music
Mm-hmm.
or like I guess like more contextually, like why they made this certain music at a certain time or whatever. Okay, yeah, something interesting that is coming to mind now is I didn't know they have a video on Travis Scott's Astro World. Sicko mode is what I'm talking
Oh,
about,
it
not
shows you like
Astro
all the
World.
samples and all the different elements of it, I guess. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, it's interesting because well, first of all, I like laughed to myself because I always thought of sicko mode as like there's two parts to the song, but the video was talking about how there's three parts to the song.
There are kind of
So I thought
three,
that was
yeah.
interesting, but
Yeah.
yeah, which I don't know. I always thought it was just the two, but
Mm-hmm.
it was saying, yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was saying how like there's certain sounds in sicko mode that has I think it was Jamaican influences.
Mm-hmm.
Like those sounds. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting because I don't know that genre very well at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting.
It's crazy. I was just listening to like Logic put out his last album, and he said that like all the samples that he used, he pretty much isn't making any money off of the album because all that money has to go to like the people who own the songs he samples, which is kind of crazy that a lot of rappers make those like choices.
Yeah, wow. And this is funny too because I didn't know until like, I think rap for me is an area that I got a little bit into it in high school, but not so much. It
Same.
was more in college that I got into rap
Mm-hmm.
and hip hop. Like, and I didn't realize just how much. these musicians sample other songs.
Yeah.
Like, I felt so silly, like, when I first learned that, because I just didn't realize how much it was. Yeah. I hope that was a decent enough
Yeah.
answer.
No, that's great. And like, yeah, definitely I'm gonna probably check out some of those because I love like I saw
Yeah,
a
I think you
video
would
on
really
like the
like it.
origins of dubstep and that was like I don't think it was Vox, but it was very professional. And it also has like Jamaican roots, which reminded me of that. So I love stuff like that. But yeah, that was good. Any last thoughts on anything?
No, besides the fact that everyone should go listen to that Mura Masa EP.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how I strategically don't say it because I know I'm gonna screw it up? I'm gonna say it wrong.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with most of his music. I mean, like I said, his newer stuff is abstract and artful, but it's all good stuff. Thanks for joining me. This was really great to I
Yeah.
don't know, I feel like so music is so vapid and like there's like thousands every day it feels like. So it's cool to like sit down with a 20-minute project and really go nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Lots to say even on, just a short EP.
All right. Bye everyone.
Bye.